Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. Happy Spoken Word Tuesday. I hope you guys Tuesdays come along fine. You guys know on Tuesdays I like to bring the word, okay? And this morning I done my short on basically being a servant of the Father. If you want to be a servant of the Father, there are certain rules we have to follow, right? Certain behaviors we must possess in order to represent the Father, in front of the people, okay? And with that being said, it's certain behavior we should all follow throughout the world because these behaviors will, again, allow us to gain prosperity and live a more peaceful life and overcome the violence of the earth or this world, okay? So I'm going to be reading from First Timothy right now, KJV version, just talking about certain things, behaviors, being a deacon, being a servant, just practicing the behaviors, of just a good citizen, a person who likes to do good works, represent those behaviors in front of the people, in front of Israel, in front of us, in front of the church of God, okay? All right, okay, let me go ahead and get prepared, put my covering on my head, you guys, so I go ahead and read this word to y'all. Okay, so yeah. All right, so you guys, I'm reading from First Timothy chapter 3, KJV version, okay? And the header it just says, qualifications set forth for bishops and deacons. Great is the mystery of godliness. See? So everything's in the word and it's spoken. To be a deacon, a servant of the Father, a bishop, that's a great work. And, it allows you mysteries of godliness. I told you guys, let me tell y'all, you got to understand, this book is power, right? Remember, if you want to be like God, then you need to read this book. Because remember, the Father said he made us in the image of him to do as he do, right? To be a God like he is, right? So in order to obtain that power and to be that God, to be powerful, to be that rock, to be that stone, just read the words of the Father. These his words, right? So live like him. So he's teaching you to live like him. If you live like him, then you can control your own destiny forever. As long as you stay truthful and spiritual with the Father's word, okay? All right. So, verse 1. This is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work. A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach, not given to wine, nor striker, not greedy of filth or lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous, one that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how should he take care of the church of God? Not a novice, lest being lifted up with pride, he fall into the condemnation of the devil. Moreover, he must have a good report of them which are without, lest he fall into reproach and the snare of the devil. Likewise, must the deacons be grave, not double-tongued, not graven to much wine, not greedy of filthy lucre, holding the mystery of the faith in a pure conscience. And let these also first be proved. Then let them use the office of a deacon, being found blameless. Even so, must their wives be grave, not slanderous, sober, faithful in all things. Let the deacons be the husbands of one wife, ruling their children in their own houses well. For they that have used the office of a deacon well purchase to themselves a good degree and great boldness in the faith which is in Christ Jesus. These things write I unto thee, hoping to come unto thee shortly. But if I tarry long, that thou mayest know how thou oughtest to behave thyself in the house of God, which is the church of the living God, the pillar and ground of the truth, and without controversy, great is the mystery of godliness. God was manifest in the flesh, justified in the spirit, seen of angels, preached unto the Gentiles, believed on in the world, and received up into glory. All right. So I hope you guys heard me well. Okay, I try to be as clear as possible reading this, right? I just gave you guys the guidelines of those who want to be a bishop, a deacon, a servant of the Father. You're trying to represent, for the Father. You got to follow these behaviors. So now let's break this down. Okay. Let's go. Okay, verse 1 is the true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop, he desire good work. Yeah, so just know, anyone who desire to be a bishop or a servant of the Father, they desire the good work. It's a great work in the Father's eye. And it's true too. Don't let nobody else tell you it's a lie. It's true. Okay? Because being a work of the Father, being a workman of the Father, or a servant or a bishop or a deacon of the Father, it's a good work. And you all will be able to break down mysteries, remember, of godliness, give some superpowers and everything, and be like God, be the power that he has. The same thing. If the power comes from learning the word, the Bible, you gain that power too. All right. Verse 2, a bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, out to teach, not given to wine, no striker, not greedy or filthy lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous, one that rules his own house, because his children has to be in substance with his gravity. And if that man can't rule his own house, he can't rule us, the church of God, right? So, when he's saying being blameless is having no fault. Nobody should be able to come and say, oh, that person here, they got words against you. You trying to serve the Father, but you got everybody making you blameful. Be blameless. If you work for the Father, then you have to worry about people pinpoint and put things on you. Okay? Be blameless. Don't do things that allow people, to have some ammunition against you, to use against you. So be blameless. If you're working for the Father, be blameless. Work his way so they cannot touch you under no circumstances. Okay? Be vigilant. The husband of one wife. One wife, not 2 or 3, because you got men out here with 2 and 3 wives, because back in the days when the Father allowed men to have 2 and 3 wives, it was 2 or 3 wives, it was to build the nation. Okay, the nation had been built. Okay, but however, in the latter days, he also said there would be 7 women to 1 man. So that could possibly be 7 wives to 1 man too, because of all the men he's taken from the sword, is perishing, destructive, right? Now, so I'm not saying it's wrong for a man to have more than 1 wife. Okay, it's not illegal, and I don't think it's a sin, right? I think once you get the glory from the Father, it's okay. And when a man trying to seek another wife, they cannot go out there and go and choose a wife themselves, right? But their wife they with have to allow that to happen, have to take her in to be a sister wife. It's not up to the man to go choose the wife, but it's up to the wife they're already with to allow that wife to be a sister wife to their family, okay? So now, so if you got more than 1 wife, then don't try to be no preacher or no servant or nothing, because this is not for you. If you got more than 1 wife, then take care of your wife and your kids and your family. Be the head of that household so you can rule your household, because your children will be subjected to gravity. Okay? Now, but being a preacher or deacon, he has to be a husband of 1 wife. Okay? And it says vigilant. Vigilant, just being careful, watching out for all the dangers. You know what I mean? Being alert, being aware of your surroundings, expecting that difficulty is going to take place, but being aware of it so you don't have to worry about it affecting you. So that's just being vigilant, just watching out for danger and difficulties of others who are going to bring that stuff to you because of who you are and what you've been called to do. Okay. Sober. Not somebody who goes sit up here and do drugs 24/7, a flaming alcoholic, like to drink 24/7, think it's okay. Who like to drink all day and party and don't think they got a problem, but every morning they got to have a drink at night, morning, evening, everything, they got to have that drink or that drug, of choice to keep them going. You can't be a preacher or a servant. I mean, you can't be a preacher or a servant, because a preacher or a servant or, a bishop, have to be a sober person, okay? Now, the Father didn't say you probably can't drink a little bit of wine, but, remember, everything done, it should be done in moderation, but not a heavy drinker of hard liquor and all that stuff, because even the Messiah drank wine. But, and what you do is how you do, okay? But he wants you to be sober. And everybody know what sober means. It don't mean, like I said, to be out 24/7, partying 24/7, drinking all day and night, smoking all your drugs of choice, and then trying to go preach 24/7. It don't work like that. But you have to allow the Father time. Give him your time. Whatever you're doing, you put that away. You understand? If you want to be a preacher, a pastor, or whatever, you put that away and get your priorities together, okay? Because you can't be drunk and high and doing all this 24/7 trying to teach the people, because you teach them to be like you, to be a drunkard, and some type of person who like to do drugs out there. All right, so just keep in mind, to be a bishop, it must be sober. Also of good behavior. Okay, we know what good behavior. A person, they walk and they know, okay, that's a good person. They got a reputation like, oh, that person good. They already know they don't have this reputation or this perception of that person that that's a downright dirty woman or a man. No, when that person walk up, they know that person bring about good things, bring about good spirits. They can trust that person, right? That person got good behavior. They can trust that person with anything because they know that person gonna do right by it. Okay, a good Samaritan. All right. Give it to hospitality. Open to helping people. Now, even if somebody come to your house, don't be rude. Help them, whatever. If they, if you can, if you got it, then give it to them. If you see they need help, help them. If they're at your home, then be the best host you can be. But don't make nobody feel unwelcome because you invite them in your house. Because how you gonna be a preacher, teaching, and when you let somebody in your house, you make them feel uncomfortable with your energy or your attention you giving to them. That means you're not possessing great hospitality, right? You're pretending, okay? All right. Let's see. Apt to teach, right? So that pastor, that deacon, or that person who's following the Father, that servant, has to be ready to teach. Because it's no use you learning all this knowledge and holding on to yourself. What's the purpose of learning the knowledge if you're not going to teach and edify? It is also a sin to not go edify the people or the word if you possess the word efficiently. Okay, or accurately. You're supposed to go out there and edify. You're supposed to go out there and teach. Because you remember, with the 12 disciples, the Father go out there and he said he want to go get the lost tribes and teach them, right? So go out there and teach the lost tribes. Teach them to come back. However, if you go out there and teach them and you go to their house and they shut that door and you just kick the dust and keep on walking, move forward to the next, but be ready, be available to teach, okay? Be motivated to teach, have a zeal for teaching, okay? Because in order to be a deacon, a pastor, whatever, you got to be ready to teach, okay? We teach officially in spirit and truth, okay? Not giving to wine or no striker, not greedy, just not looking at the same thing. Not giving to wine, being a heavy drinking of wine. Remember, the Messiah drank wine, his eyes was red. However, he just didn't drink it out to get drunk. But you got these people that take advantage of things, get to drinking and think it's okay, get to drinking, feeling themselves, got to have more and more and more. Okay, so we got to be careful, We have to discipline ourselves. And what we got going on in our life when it comes to us drinking, our drug habits, so we have to discipline ourselves. You have to set your priorities right. Put that to the side. If you're going to go ahead and party sometimes, okay, I'm not saying, all right, that you can't do nothing because people do drink it. And people do they party do. You understand, as far as it coming to wine and everything. But whatever you're going to do, okay, be careful. You have to do it in moderation. If it's a problem, you need to get rid of it anyway, okay? So don't just be out there, like I said, he's saying giving too much wine, just drinking a drink. But do it in moderation, have discipline. Like I say, maybe sometimes you have a hard days of work or whatever, you done went through so much. The Father also say, have a glass of wine, you see? So in that instance, yes. But he's not telling you to get off work and go get drunk and go do all these drugs 24/7. He's not telling you that. He's saying sometimes, yes, life is full of trials and tribulation. We go through a lot of things. So sometimes we have such a hard day where we got to drink that wine just to calm us down, okay? All right. Not greedy or filthy of lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous, okay? Not really greedy of filthy, not greedy of filthy lucre. Things that the Father despise, things that disgusting, things that that's just downward, dirty, and below, filthy lucre, perversion, and all kind of stuff that's really disgusting to a normal man's eyes. Now, these days, perversion is now becoming common, and, being raped, and just doing all, and, my goodness, perversion and sexual molestation, and all this stuff is becoming normalized, it's becoming common. That is filthy lucre. So you cannot allow yourself to be denormalized, to have a reprobate mind, to think that stuff is normal, because it's not normal. Okay, the Father don't want no filthy lucre at all. Okay, but patient, being patient. Don't be so quick to do everything. Be ready to jump, move. Don't even take time. Take your time. Be patient, okay? Good things come to those who wait. Things don't happen overnight. And when they happen overnight, that's not, don't get me wrong, it's not a good thing, right? What goes up must come down. But if you get it right, then it should continue to go up. But if you get it fast, it's going to come straight down as quick as you get it. So be patient. Let the Father work with you. He will guide you. What you may want today, just because you don't get it, don't mean He's not going to give it to you. But He wait until you get yourself together so He can give it to you. I am telling you for experience. When you sit back and let time go by, trust and believe me, it all work in your favor, right? Because no words is better than having words. Because sitting around and letting it go back for a person not saying too much in itself is really more of a good thing. But if you got somebody steady saying something to you, that's not a good thing. So just be patient. Allow the Father to work in your life. Nothing is going to happen overnight. If it happened overnight, it's not from the Father. Okay? Because the Father work in time, right? He started with times, right? Then time, then a half of a time. And right now we in a half of a time. And, oh my goodness, a lot of whole spirit things going around. But I'm just saying, time matters with everything. It's very important. Okay? And it says, not a brawler or covetous. Like, you don't have to have everything in this world. Okay? You don't have to be a brawler. You don't have to be known as the $1 million man and all that, run around with big old chains and all that kind of stuff. That's not representing the Father. The Father ain't right there trying to be a brawler. Now, of course, we was kings and queens, and we had, back in the days, our shields was in gold and everything, It was different the way we utilize gold and silver opposed to today. Right now, we use like gold and silver on our necks, our arms, our here, representing that we got wealth, representing that I'm the man or the woman, right? But the Father is telling you, He don't need no person to represent like that, because you're not representing Him, but you represent for the people, all right? Okay, so that brawler, that mentality, thinking, oh, I gotta be broad, I gotta be the best, money, fame, power, yes, that's that brawler stuff, and that is not representative of the Father. So those pastors and those preachers and stuff that want to be broad and run around here driving their Bentleys, no, that is a brawler. That is not the represents of being a preacher or a deacon. It's not. So if you got all that going on, then you're not a real preacher or a pastor, okay? Also, not covetous. So a pastor or, a deacon or a servant, don't go covet people, right? That jealousy stuff, okay? They let them be who they want to be, right? You can't beat them, join them. But you really don't got to join them, especially if they're going down the wrong way. If it's a good thing, you can't beat them, then join them, right? But don't be coveted of what they got. You're going to do whatever you're going to do to get what they want. You're going to hurt that person, get what they want, or going to backstab that person, get what they want, or going to the next person trying to set that person up because you envious of what they got and you want their life. Lord knows, I literally been told that somebody told me my life supposed to be their life. I stole their life. And that was the most, I've never in my life heard anything like that. Like, how do you steal somebody's life? Like, how did I steal your life, right? I got my own life, but I literally was told, oh, you stole my life. You stole my life. Like, what? So we have to be careful what goes on in a person's mind, right? So that's part of covenants. And there was some downright jealousy covenants. Some danger covenants, too. And so, okay, I got to get away. Okay, because I don't need that person not to get me. Okay, so remember, a pastor or a deacon, a servant, or somebody not going to be of covenants. They're not going to want what you want because they know they can't save you anyway. That's just an idol. You know what I mean? We know the word can save us, and salvation can save us. You understand? But all that covenants and what that person got on my body and this, that's just an idol. I don't want to cover what you got. I don't need everything in the world. I just need the necessities. Now, I like to look good, but I ain't spending much money on those neither. Because, hey, I know how to make it do the do. And my money going to make it last for me and make it work. I don't have to covet it. I don't want to be jealous of you. I can care less of what you got, right? Because this is my life and that's your life. And you can't live my life for me. And I already know the way I live my life had bring me peace. Not trying to be covenant and get me all a bunch of chaos and have me unpeaceful because I want to go do everything in the world to get you because I'm jealous of you and I cover you, so I'm going to bring you down and I'm going to do everything wicked to do it. Okay, and let's see. One that ruled well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. For a man know not how to rule his own house. For a man, if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God? So he's saying, a preacher, a pastor, servant, supposed to be able to rule his house well, making sure his children are in subjection and gravity, right? Making sure they meet everything they're supposed to meet of their dad, who know how to rule his house well, right? Because again, I said, you guys, this was last week, if a man don't know how to rule his own house, how should he take care of the church of God? How can he take care of us? We are the church of God. How can he take care of Israel? How can he take care of his own family, his own house, if he can't rule it? If he let his woman rule over him, then what type of man is that? That's a weak man. Because a man represents masculinity. It represents leadership. It represents the head. Okay? So, if that man can't rule his own house, and that wife, he might let the wife be the man. She might become the man, whatever, because they ain't living right anyway. It ain't going nowhere. Their relationship ain't gonna never fall. So, man, make sure you rule your house well. It say, not a novice, lest being lifted up with pride, he fall into the condemnation of the devil. Moreover, he must have a good report of them which are without, lest he fall into the approach and the snare of the devil. So not when you look, this is another thing. When people become pastors and servants and preachers, right? They start off good. They start off with the truth and wanting to serve the Father and everything, right? Just coming out. And that's when they ain't getting no money and everything, but they just going out. Because before they get that money and before they get so much from everybody, they come with true hearts and true souls and be ready to serve the Father, be ready to bring the people, right? Now, remember, over time, when they sit up here and they sway all these people to follow their lead, and now they got thousands of people, and now these people supporting them, the pride started to set in. And it started setting in because of all the support they get from the people. Now, because the people giving them all that money, that makes them feel very powerful, right? So what happens is they fall into pride, become boastful. They forget that they're serving the Father. They start serving the people and living for the people, and then they fall. Okay? Then they become backsliders and everything, because they let this money of the people boast them up to be so powerful and prideful to make them get all the glory. And they forget that the glory is supposed to be for the Father. And the reason why you get all this glory is due to the Father from coming in and teaching his word. But that's your problem. You decide to cross over. You decide to allow yourself to become prideful because of all the money and support. And then you start doing the glory for yourself instead of the Father. You see? Now he said, lest, he be lifted up with pride and fall into the condemnation of the devil. And that's what happened. They fall into the condemnation of the devil because they be lifted up in pride, after gaining all that power that the people give them. Okay? Also, he said, must have a good report of them which are without, lest he fall into the snare of the devil. So you got to be, have a good report, know how to read people well, or know what this person is about in everything, right? You know how to have a sense of discernment, so you don't fall. Like, go read between lines. Know this person about. You should be able, if a person come around you, with me, I can read a person within 5 minutes. Anybody come around me because the Father have allowed me that, that discernment. So if anybody come around me, I know if you good or bad. I know if you ain't worth nothing, if you worth something. And one thing about me, because sometimes, you act funny. No, it's not that I act funny, but I had to separate myself from certain spirits. I had to separate myself from certain people. So I got to make sure whoever I'm around, I had that report to be able to discern that kind of person, what kind of person they are. Either they out to get me or bring good vibes. Okay? But you got to be able to have a sense of discernment so you have a good rapport with people so you know how to read them well. And I thank the Father for blessing me with that discernment. So it doesn't matter who come around me. I don't have to let you to be around me. If you're around me because I want you around me. But if I sense a spirit, I'm going to become distant anyway. Now, you can call me funny, what you want to call me, but I'm going to go home and be peaceful while you at home thinking about me, making me important in your life. I've already read you, right? So therefore, I don't want no part of you because you don't mean well by me. You plotting against me. You out to get me. So have that rapport that you can read people well. Don't be so naive, when everybody around you and you think everybody just good. They ain't good. They out to get your ass, okay? Especially if you doing certain works in your life, okay? So have that rapport. Know how to read people. Ask the Father for that discernment of others, okay? All right, now, likewise, must the deacons be grave, not double-tongued, not giving too much wine, not greedy or 50 lucre. Okay, we talked about that. Don't be double, well, the double-tongue we talk about, but double-tongue, don't be saying something and go say another. Like, double-minded and everything. Because any person that's double-minded is unstable in all their ways. So a preacher and a pastor or a servant must be true to their word. Okay, not double-tongued, not double-minded, not saying to this person, whispering some in that ear, creating chaos. That's a false teacher. Okay. All right, and holding the mystery of faith and pure conscience. Having true faith and pure conscience, knowing, that what you're doing is for the Father, and it's the truth, and it's pure. You're doing it all in good faith because you know what the Father can do and what He have done, right? And keeping it too, holding on to that conscience, not letting nobody come in and break your faith and everything. But knowing that this is a good work, knowing that I'm holding the Father's word in pure faith and in pure conscience, and I'm not letting no person come in and read that scripture and try to change my mind and interpret they want to interpret and change the way they want to because of the lustful desires of their flesh. No, but be pure and conscious with the word. Under no circumstances would you allow somebody to come to you and make your beliefs change when you know you done went to the Father, you know who guided you. Okay? All right. Now, and let these also be first proved, then let them use the office of deacons, being found blameless. You see? So after you prove all these things we do, you got to go through the fire, right? Once you go through the fire, we're going to see if you're going to get burned or not, right? It's going to determine who you are. So it's being proved. Once you go through all these things, and you're being proved, because the Father's going to test you, His servant's going to test you, you're going to know within yourself if you're a preacher, pastor, or not. Because trust me, that conscience and that guilt be all over you. So we pretend, we can make believe, but trust and believe me, that guilty conscience don't come on you. You're going to know if you're the real preacher or a false preacher or sheep and wolves' clothes. You will know. You know it. Even if you don't want to tell nobody. Okay? So once that proved, then once it's proved, you went through the fire, then you can be a deacon that passed and be found blameless because you have earned all the trust from the people, right? All right. Now we got to be careful of the wives, because it says, verse 11, even so must their wives be grave, not slanderous, sober, faithful in all things. Let the deacons be the husband of one wife, rooting their children in their own house as well. So even the wives, you see, oh my goodness, y'all see specifically, right? Even so, their wives must be grave, not slanderous, not going out there gossiping and talking about people all day. You just got so many women that sit around all day and gossip and talk about the next person. They talking about the very next person that got it going on in their life. You sit around here and you talk about this person and slander their name and try to make like this person is a bad person, but you sitting around, ain't got no job, 5 or 6 baby daddies, drinking all day, smoking weed all day, popping pills all day, talking about the next person who doing what they need to do, who is working so hard to get where they at. You don't see nothing wrong with that picture. Now you sitting over here and got your priorities together, your focus off, you making that person that's got it going on so important to your life until you fall in, until it's becoming an obsession and it's becoming a mental thing. Because why? You done made that person so important in your life until you can't even tend to your own business. Your whole life and your business falling apart because you done made another person that important in your life. And you want to focus on that person so bad, slander that person, gossip that person to bring that person down. But that person ain't going down, but that person doing what he got to do. It's what you don't understand. So while you sitting around slandering and doing all that in front of people, your life is miserable. Wake up. Take the steps you need. Prioritize, focus. Don't make other people important to your life. Make your life and your family important to you and strive for your betterment. Because that same person you talk about already strived, already made it happen, already got that house, already got that car, already got that job, already got that husband, already successful in life. But you, on the other hand, you're not successful because you're worried about me. You see how it goes? So even the wife, they must not be slanderers, okay? And it says they must be sober. You got women. It is such a disgrace to see women out here drunk, falling all over the floor. Like, girl, that's not ladylike. because of their own problems, their own decisions that they made. So when they made those decisions, they didn't think about the consequences going to follow. So now that very decision they made, the result is taking place, and the result is not what they want. So what they do, they go drink and get high all day to drown the problems. But when they're high and they're drunk, wear off, you just prescribe yourself some more pain, some more medication you're going to need from all the drinking and alcohol. You're killing yourself because of your own problems, right? But if you make the right decisions and sit back and relax, you don't make everything in this world such a priority, you just be simple, you'll be okay, all right? You don't have to be stuck drinking all day. You know, an alcoholic as a woman, that's not ladylike. Trust and believe me. And that alcohol have you doing all kind of things. And don't you, let's get drunk, forget what I did. You know what the hell you be doing. You understand? You drunk that alcohol. You know how that alcohol got you. Okay? So, it ain't what you do, it's how you do. Any wife of a deacon must be sober and not a drunk. Okay? All right. And it says, faithful in all things. You must be a wife, a person can come trust you. You know, you got them women sitting around and, they be probably, some of the wives get married and everything, and they feel like, they just got it going on. So they have people come over, you know, they talk to them, then that person leave, then they act like that was good for that person good. When they leave, they talk to them like a dog, you know, as if they hold them down, as if God loved them more than God loved the next person. No, you just as worse as them, because you should be faithful in all things. Don't talk about that person, but help that person. Stop it. Stop talking about that person and bring that down person. But you got the power to reach out and help that person. So if that person come in your house, you already know that person going through. You got the power and the will and the wisdom to do it. Then help them so they can get on your track. Don't sit around and invite them to their house so you can bash them, you know, or create things to make that person feel comfortable so you can go around and talk back to the next person. Feeling like, I'm married, you got it going on. You ain't got shit going on. Because of what you're doing right now, we all reap what you sow. And what you're doing to that person is going to be done to you. Remember? So remember, those who are deceiving are also being deceived. So whatever you think you're doing to that person is also being done to you, and you setting yourself up for it to happen to you in the future. Okay. Let the deacons be the husband of one wife ruling their children. Okay, we know that. One wife ruling their children, so they be the head of their household. Okay. For they that have used the office of a deacon well purchased to themselves a good degree and great boldness and faith, and which is in Jesus Christ. Okay. So we know we hear about these degrees, and we go do secondary education for the man, because believe that going to school right now in this world, you're not learning nothing about the father. So it's secondary. So the father don't care less, can care less about that. Now he do want you to get a trade, do some of your hands. It's good to have a trade with your hands so you can go work. But all this college stuff, now I want y'all to know, yes, I got my master's degree. I went all the way. And when I wanted to go to PhD, I stopped at the master's because I realized that was secondary education. So once I finished my master's, I finished with honors and everything, and I done it on purpose, okay? So the reason why I got that master's, because it's going to be a time that I'm going to need certain credentials until the father come back, until he come back to Shiloh, okay? I'm going to need certain credentials to get me certain places, right? So I know I got to take care of myself. I say, forget it. Let me go ahead and get these little degrees, because they going to come for it anyway. You understand? When I want to strive and be successful, when I want to go and take a huge leap of faith in life, then I got the credentials. They can't even stop me, because I went to go get it, right? Now, okay, so in that sense, it's okay, I will believe, because you know that the father say, hey, if you don't work, you don't eat. So we got to gain some type of trade, right? Now, but remember, back in the days, in the ancient days, we was using trades like with our hands. Now, the Gentiles, right, have flipped it over where they got us going to get education with colleges and this degree and that degree and that degree, and that's not helping the father none. It's only helping to provide to help them more richer, but it's not doing enough for the father. Okay, so that is all secondary education. It do not compare to the degree of the Bible, right? Because once you become a deacon or a servant, then you learn about the Father, you learn about the Word. Remember, ain't nothing new under the sun, so whatever happened in this world or this earth is already in here, okay? So that degree you learn in secondary education from the man don't compare to the good degree you're going to learn when you seeking the Father and studying His Word, because He will teach you power. He will teach you how to control. He will make you a rock, a stone, right? When you walk past, your presence right there going to feel. He will teach you how to be the educator. He will teach you how to teach so greatest degree. Okay? And great boldness in the faith which is in Jesus Christ. Me, because I speak bold like the heart of a lion. Lioness, right? So once the Father teach you, once he gets you there, he make you bold because he know the word. Right? And if you keep going, he's just going to make you more stronger. And he's going to also keep testing you. Because trust and believe me, oh my goodness, you don't know how much he tested me. And I think my major problem was my anger. Like, I will allow people to provoke me. And they will do it on purpose too. Just create problems and provoke you and say things to make you mad, and then you get mad and piss them off. But then I had to learn, don't let them provoke me because I ain't going to have control. And he would keep testing me and keep testing me and keep testing me. And then when I was just crying and like, please help me because it's out of control. I just called this person a whole bitch. You know what I mean? And just went crazy as hell with this person because they steady provoking me. But now I'm learning to control that anger. Because if you not control that anger, you don't got control over nothing. Okay? All right. So, now, being that I'm able to control and being that I've learned all these words and being that I'm learning the power of the Father, because I'm made in his image, in order for me to have that power he got, I just need to read his word so I can gain that power and that understanding to do what he did, right? Because he said the Father made us in his image, right? We can do what he do. We just got to go through the word, okay? So now that he done made me all this, he done allowed me to be bold in the faith of the Messiah or the Christ Jesus. The Father also said to you guys, the last thing, verse 14, 15, and 16. He said, these things write I unto thee, hoping to come unto thee shortly. Okay? But if I tarry long, that thou mayest know how thou oughtest to behave thyself in the house of God, which is the church of the living God, the pillar and the pillar and ground of the truth, and without controversy. Great is the mystery of godliness. God was manifest in the flesh, justified in the spirit, seen of angels, preached unto the Gentiles, believed on in the word, and received up unto glory. Right? Those are the things that the Father have written to you. And he also said, hoping to come to thee until shortly. Right? But remember, tarry long. Right? So you would know how to behave yourself in the church of the living God, okay? Making God, the church of God, your pillar, your ground of truth, without controversy, right? With allowing great mysteries of godliness into your temple, okay? So you can perform great mysteries of godliness, right? That's a manifestation in the flesh, it's justified in the spirit, and the angels will see it, right? And the Gentiles hear you preaching too, okay? And believing in the word of the Father, right? So you can also be received up in glory. All right, you guys. So, hey, I hope I brought some clarification to those pastors and those preachers, okay? Because what I just read here just gave you guys the guidelines of an effective, a true, a moralized preacher, a pastor, a deacon, a servant, of those who follow the Lord, right? So now, what I just read to you, if that category don't fit, then that preacher or that pastor, is a false prophet, a sheep in wolf's clothing, right? A false teacher, and they're not bringing true doctrine. Because I just gave you all the guidelines and the stipulations. So if you got those preachers and those pastors out there riding with Bentleys and trying to be the man and doing all that and want to be prideful and everybody know them, do that fit the guidelines? Ask yourself, all the things you see that's going on in the world, these peasant preachers, do they fit those guidelines? So it's up to you to determine now. Take those behaviors of all the peasant preachers out here and apply it to 1 Timothy 3 and see are they following their guidelines. I'm telling you, that's how you would determine if they are sheep in wolf clothing, if they are a false preacher or a false teacher. You know the guidelines now. So if you want to be the servant of the Father, it's a great sin. It's a great thing, and it's a true sin. Anybody who want to be a pastor or a deacon of the Father is a true sin. It's a great work. But do it in spirit and truth. And determine those pastors, those preachers. Okay, you can determine right now if they're real or not. All right, you guys. Look, we have to learn how to start, liking, subscribing more, and sharing this, because remember, it's about restoration, right? It's about the gathering of Israel. It's about bringing them all back together. It's about bringing the things that was in the past back up to the forefront, right? Right? So we can live a more conscious and unguilty life, okay, of good behavior. All right, you guys, please share, like, subscribe, because we need to get this word out, because remember, it's about restoration. We all got to restore together. And those right now who still dead and still walking, wake up. Bye.